Canadian shares fall most in 2 years. Loonie dips on recession worry. Toronto, Canada's most important stock index, slumped on Thursday to its lowest stage in 14 months, and its foreign money weakened as traders grew extra concerned that competitive important financial institution hobby fee hikes might cause a recession, weighing on company earnings. The Toronto Stock Exchange's S&P/TSX Composite Index ended down 3.1% at 19,004.06, its largest drop in view that June 2020 and its lowest stage seeing that April 2021. The Canadian greenback became buying and selling 0.3% lower at 1.2930 to the dollar, or 77.34 US cents, after referring to Wednesday its weakest intraday degree in a couple of months at 1.2995. U.S. stock indexes also tumbled on Thursday because the Swiss National Bank and the Bank of England lifted interest charges following the Federal Reserve's 75 basis point hike on Wednesday, with central banks aiming to gradual home hobby within the face of hovering price pressures. It is becoming increasingly more necessary to look a decline in boom with a purpose to stave off inflation, stated Joseph Abramson, co-chief investment officer at Northland Wealth Management. People were speak me about recession, but it is now not in marketplace expectation, but if you have a look at the ahead earnings boom. So it truly is the following shoe to drop. Broad-based declines at the TSX blanketed a decline of 5.3% for the energy area, extending its recent pullback, at the same time as oil prices rose. U.S. crude oil futures settled nearly 2% higher at $117.58 a barrel after the United States introduced new sanctions on Iran. Technology, which has a tendency to be especially touchy to higher hobby fees, fell 3.8%, and heavily weighted financials were 2.9% lower. One predominant outlier amongst character stocks was LifeWorks Inc. Its shares jumped 66.4% after Canadian Wi-Fi provider TELUS NYSE Corp agreed to buy the Human Sources Offerings Corporation in a $2.9 billion $2.2 billion deal. Domestic records showed that Canada's wholesale trade reduced by means of 0.5% in April from March, weighed through a drop in fertilizer imports from Russia. Canadian government bond yields were combined throughout the curve. The 10-year touched its highest considering the fact that May 2010 at 3.664% before pulling lower back to 3.409%, down 5.1 foundation factors at the day.